Again. Okay, this is a video about liars, cowards, fascists and hate mongers. I hope you enjoy it. People keep asking me what I think about the English Defence League, so I went to their website and read it quite carefully, looking for racism and fascism, of course, because the media keep telling me that they're far right. But, well, I'm a little puzzled because all I can find is a healthy regard for human rights, democracy and the rule of law. Not a whiff of racism or fascism and not a hint of far-right politics of any kind. Am I missing something? Now, I realise what a minefield I'm stepping into here because I've noticed that anyone who doesn't condemn the EDL as far-right, fascist and racist is instantly written off as far-right, fascist and racist. But if I cared about my personal reputation, I would have stopped making videos a long time ago. I don't care what anyone thinks of me, I care what I think of me, and I care about the truth. And from my observations, the truth is that the EDL are not the problem. They're merely a symptom of a wider problem that nobody wants to address because we're all afraid of the truth. There's a word for that, veritophobia. So you see, we do have a phobia after all. When did we all become so afraid of the truth? When we realised that the truth offends Islam and that when Islam is offended, violence is never far away. This is why we've trimmed our rights and freedoms so that we can no longer even speak our mind without fear of being arrested. We've twisted ourselves like pretzels to accommodate an aggressive, supremacist religion that despises everything we stand for. Not that we stand for much anymore, because all our values have been turned inside out. What's right is wrong is correct, what's correct is right. We don't know if we're coming or going anymore, and that is a symptom of a condition, the condition of people who don't really believe in anything because they have no reason to, and who have never had to defend anything of value in their lives, who wouldn't know how. Now, nobody's suggesting that the EDL doesn't have its share of bad apples, but I can't help thinking that if it was a movement of middle-class university students, the media would portray it in a completely different way. But because it's mainly working-class men, they desperately want them to be fascist and racist, because if working-class men have a political opinion, it has to be a violent, subhuman opinion, because that's who they are. They're all football hooligans at heart. Never mind that their demonstrations are always peaceful because they may be working class, but they're not stupid and they know what would happen to them if they weren't peaceful. And how else are they supposed to get their voices heard? Write a column in The Guardian, perhaps. Peaceful street protest is all they've got. Whenever violence does occur, it's always instigated by a mob of middle-class left-wing thugs, ironically called Unite Against Fascism, who turn up with the express intention of using violence to stamp on free speech. And this is because Unite Against Fascism, despite its virtuous-sounding name, is actually a front for the hardline Socialist Workers' Party, which is full of angry middle-class casualties who still hate their parents, who wouldn't know a day's work if it bit them on the arse, and who patronise the working class because they hate and fear them. When these self-righteous cretins are not violently defending Islamic jihad, they're busy shouting down people who advocate democracy and the supremacy of Parliament, who they also regard as fascists. But these are the real fascists, and these are the people the police should be focusing on, the extreme nutcase fringe of the hard-left, nutcase fringe Stalinist wing. They persuaded a bunch of politicians and other public figures to sign their mission statement by lying and calling themselves anti-fascists, thus neatly acquiring for themselves license to practice the politics of the jackboot, to operate outside the law and to explicitly endorse and use violence to silence opinions they disapprove of. If any other political organisation behaved like this, it would be shut down. But the police, the politicians and the middle-class media are all so terrified of the truth, they'd rather focus obsessively on a symptom of the problem and give the real fascists a free ride. Recently, when one of their leadership was accused of rape, the Socialist Workers' Party handled the situation with all the crass misogyny you would expect from their friends in the Sharia court. They didn't report the allegations to the police because, as they put it, they had no faith in the bourgeois court system to deliver justice. Still sound like your kind of people, middle-class lefties? Instead, the women, yes, there were more than one, were aggressively cross-examined about their social history and sexual conduct, and then the matter was whitewashed internally. One of them actually said that, in her opinion, the Socialist Workers' Party is a dangerous environment for women. These are the people behind Unite Against Fascism, just so you know who you're actually supporting from your cosy, progressive, middle-class bubble. Another jihad-supporting far-left hate group with a misleading name is Hope Not Hate, and recently, along with British MP Keith Vaz, a man for whom the word oleaginous might have been personally coined, they were instrumental in persuading the government to ban two prominent American critics of Islam from visiting Britain. It didn't matter that what they say about Islam is true. Indeed, this is precisely why they were banned, because it is true and provably so. Robert Spencer is an Islamic scholar. He knows the Quran better than most Muslims, including imams, as he proved recently in a radio interview when an imam incredibly accused him of having the advantage because Islam is his specialist subject. He and Pamela Geller have been banned from Britain because they tell the truth, and because the truth is a threat to Islam. Therefore, the truth, according to the UK government, is not conducive to the public good, which is a cowardly way of saying Muslims might become violent. In short, because Islam is afraid of the truth, we all have to be afraid of it. Afraid to speak it, afraid even to listen to it. Thanks to Islam, the truth has become our enemy, and future generations will pay a very heavy price with their freedom for that, because when the truth is your enemy, you know, and the world knows, that you are going to lose. It's just a matter of when.